Okay, I'm returning to Bill Burr. Always want to come back to him. This is not your typical stand-up routine from him or bit or whatever. It's apparently an appearance that he made on, it says here, Good Day New York. It's an appearance he made on that show. Looks like to promote his show, F is for Family, which I've been meaning to get around to, you guys. I just haven't done it yet. So many things. Anyway, the title of this is Bill Burr Makes the Hosts on Good Day New York Uncomfortable. I haven't seen this yet, but I've had it in my to-watch list forever. I don't know what I'm getting myself into here, but apparently he makes them uncomfortable. I guess they didn't know what they were getting themselves into either. So let's go ahead and check it out.
10 episodes are available to binge watch. Bill Burr, welcome to Good Day New York.
How are you? Thank you for having me.
Well, the show is so funny. I mean, I'm just, is it based on your real life or is it, you know?
Yeah, no, it's definitely based on my life, but it's, Frank is the character that I play. He's an amalgam of kind of everybody's dad in the writer's room, and he's an old school dad. Like when I was a kid, you were like afraid of your dad. Like he pulled in the driveway, he'd come in the front door, we'd all run out the back door.
Right, wait till your father comes home,
yes,
right?
Yes, absolutely. So it's more of that era. It's not this, you know, era now where your kids are like friends with their dad. I was like afraid of my dad. Not in a bad way. Like I just knew that, you know, when he...
Now, no, maybe he's kind of softening it. But I remember that little video that I saw of him talking about his childhood and how much he hated his dad. And it sounds to me like his dad was a pretty verbally abusive guy, according to the thing that he was talking about in that other video. So maybe he's, like I said, I think someone mentioned that he made peace with his dad or something or whatever. So maybe he's kind of like trying to smooth it over now. But I didn't get the sense that that he wasn't afraid of his dad. I got the sense that he was as a kid.
Dad, I was like afraid.
I mean, in a bad way. Afraid.
Not in a bad way. Like I just knew
way.
that, you know, when he came home, that
things were gonna fly.
Yes, your behavior. We used to shut the TV off and like pick up books, pretending to be like reading. And I remember he used to like, you know, if he was in church, he had like the loudest snap. And if you guys were talking too loud, he just bam like that, and everybody just shut up, and then you knew you were going to get it later.
You mean get it? You know, it's fun. You get on stage, you talk about topics that are kind of taboo, but you make them really, really funny.
So your Christian background is part of the show. Or at
yes,
least
and
two
I wanted
episodes.
to talk to you about Jesus after this.
Well, the only reason why I bring it up is some people thought maybe you went a little too far. You know,
as far as what?
Well, they thought that maybe you were being disrespectful to the Christian religion.
Who did?
I'm telling you, you need to Google.
Okay, this is it's funny. Journalists do this. They ask these questions. They're like, they say, or some people say, when maybe it's not really necessarily, maybe they're really the ones that's trying to generate the controversy or whatever it is they're asking the question about.
Disrespectful to the Christian religion.
Who did?
I'm telling you, you need to Google.
Oh, good Lord.
So did you feel you were being disrespectful, or just you were just having fun with some of the crucifixes and stuff like that?
I don't even know I mean, we did maybe 2 jokes about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think the Catholic Church went a little too far? More so than my cartoon.
All right, listen.
A couple of jokes. I know this is a morning show. You can't bring up all those crimes.
You know what? Technically,
they just sort of kept moving them around. You know, like those killer whales at SeaWorld, after it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
Goodness, that's so...
All right, I'm not totally following, but...
how could you not? I totally got everything that he was talking about. How could he not? You know he knew what he was referring to and what he was talking about. That's funny. Wow. That was a good comeback, though, honestly. I mean, really.
Seattle, they don't give them their background.
All right, I'm not totally following, but I don't think
you
I
know
want
what
to.
I'm talking about. It's a morning show. I understand.
I
came on.
Positive.
That kid
Positive.
was missed the graduation, and then it was a feel-good story.
It was a feel-good, and we want to leave.
If you want to feel good about America, you watch the morning shows. You don't watch this, you know. We were joking earlier. If that kid's story about the graduation was late night, that would have been a whole different story.
What do you think?
He's still missing. We can't find him. All we found was his hat. But you watch in the morning. It's great. It all worked out. He got his own personal graduation. Like, I was in such a great mood. Look how yellow this couch is. It's like the sun.
So F is for family. I mean, it's really politically incorrect before politically incorrect was even a term.
Yeah, and I think, you know, a lot of that stuff. What you were saying earlier, you talk about taboo subjects. It's like nothing I really talk about. It's not that people aren't talking about all of this stuff. It's just that it's sort of a way that people talk when they get on a stage or something like that. But it's not like, you know, people they laugh because they're already talking about it. So it's not that big a deal.
We all have dark thoughts sometimes, but you go there in public and you do it, even though it's edgy, kind of make it safe in a way.
Yeah, well, what's going to happen? I'm just talking. I mean, it's not like I'm not doing anything insane. I will tell you, though, I did stay.
Oh, well, what could happen nowadays is if you could be canceled if you say something that pisses off a certain type of person. I was on Twitter earlier, I think it was today, and I saw William Shatner refer to these types of people, you know, these people that just get so offended and outraged over just everything under the freaking sun. It's like they don't have anything better to do with their lives but to get mad and then try to destroy somebody. He referred to them as Generation Outrage, and I think that is the perfect term for people like that. But anyway, he's like, and I'm just talking. What are you going to do? Well, nowadays talking can get you completely destroyed. You don't even have to be saying anything heinous, you guys. As you know, I mean, I've talked about it on my channel before. Sorry, my nose is really itching me. Allergies.
I'm just talking. I mean, it's not like I'm not doing anything insane. I will tell you, though, I did stand up here 2 shows last night, and I cannot believe New York crowds now.
Why?
It is so like, they
were doing that during
the
show?
This was just a few years ago.
I moved here in '94. It was like, you remember Alphabet City? You were taking your life in your hands, and there was like junkies and stuff like that. So it was just really like a lot harder than to like even like impress people. And now, I mean, I don't know.
Again, the good old days.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you know what? They don't even call it Alphabet City anymore. You know that? They call it like the Lower East Side. Things, gentrification, whatever.
Was that offensive to illiterate people?
Anyway,
this town has changed.
F is for family. Obviously, Netflix and the people who watch it love your show. Were we able to find a clip that we could clean up?
No, we got something. We got something.
Found something.
Clean up.
Might be a couple of beeps. Check it out.
That
the
edgy?
intro song?
Oh, not hamburger assistant again. Why can't Mom make dinner?
Ask her. She's the one who abandoned her post. Now after doing all the lady work, I got to leave to go do some man work. And is anybody going to get me flowers and tell me I'm beautiful? No. No one's out there marching for old Frank Murphy. He just watches the sands of his miserable life gather at his feet while his wife, the modern woman, throws on a pantsuit every morning and just... There's my worker bee.
This guy really speaks to me.
I knew he was going to.
It's a little Archie Bunkerish.
Kind of,
Yes.
a little bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is that time. And when we did like the 70s, we wanted it to look like how I remember the 70s, where Hollywood kind of always makes it look like everybody had a lava lamp and dressed like Ron Burgundy. This is more like the sort of Rust Belt Serpico 70s. Like, you know, anytime you see a movie about like the 70s, everybody has a car from the 70s. It was like there was, you know, people didn't have money. They'd have a car from the 60s. So if you look, there's a lot of... That's one of my favorite things to like pick out what car they're gonna have. Like Frank drives like an old like Ford Galaxy-esque type car before Ford comes at us for money.
You're right. The movies from the 70s, they overdo it. They all overdo it when they're going retro, right?
Well, they make it seem like when the Pacer came out, like everybody thought that was a good-looking car. It was a weird car
with the big window.
Yeah, me and my mother looked at it. That is the ugliest piece of you-know-what I've ever seen in my life. But they made it seem like
really
everybody in the 70s
his language,
had like a lava lamp and thought that was a good-looking car.
So, Bill, do you Google yourself? Because I was like Googling the show.
No, God knows.
I was Googling the show.
I get trashed enough on Twitter. Do you know when I did the show last night? This is how like the millennials are, right? Somebody, I was wearing this exact same thing. You know, I'm on the road, so I got a nice stain on my shirt. So I was wearing this exact same thing. I go on Twitter, and somebody wrote, you know, Bill Burr last night dressed like an out-of-shape Jerry Seinfeld.
What?
So, like, Yeah, I wrote back.
Okay.
I can't say what I wrote back. I wrote back.
You did?
So and so. Yeah, it's like, why don't you heckle me when you're there?
But why would you even respond on
everybody
Twitter?
is sassy online, not in your face.
Sassy.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is New York. Back
That's
in the
a nice
day, I
way to
would
put
walk
it.
on stage. Someone would have said that, and I would have had to fight my way out of it, and it would have been a tough set. And this person's just, everything's like so covert now.
I feel bad because, by the way, you're ripped.
Huh?
You're in pretty good shape.
But why respond to somebody who's being negative to you on Twitter?
Because it's fun. I like going back and forth, and then you can
I was going to say something like that.
This is my deal. If you actually have a picture of yourself, then I'll go back and forth. But if you just have like the little egg thing there, like those, 2 followers, then those people, it's like you just came up with an account or whatever, or you just go around trash people. To me, that's like a cowardly thing. But like, if I can see you, and you're out of shape, or maybe you're ugly or something like that, I'll go right for it. I'll get real childish.
Growing up, by the way, with the mother
Wait,
or
did
the
he
hairbrush
say
and
he's
the dad.
childish?
Yeah, where was that?
Hold on. Sorry, I missed that.
I'll get real childish.
I get real
Growing up, by the
yeah.
way, with the mother or the hairbrush and the dad. Yeah, where was that? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up outside Boston, Massachusetts. The safe suburbs of Boston, Massachusetts. Because ever since Good Will Hunting, everybody thinks, you grew up in Southie and you stole cars and you asked people about apples.
They overdid it too, didn't they?
Yeah.
Let me ask you about your Christian background.
No, nobody overdid Southie back then. Like, I'm just saying I was not that, I was more of a, cul-de-sac street hockey playing kid.
Bill Burr.
Head
F
like
is
the
for
moon.
family.
Go.
Okay.
F is for family on Netflix, out right now.
He'd be a little more comfortable if he threw some trash around the studio, right? He misses the old New York, and you're not the only one.
I want to meet those religious people that got upset. I want to quiz them on their religion.
All right, we'll talk about, why did I bring that up? Bill,
Why did you bring it up?
I'm
It's
sorry.
a morning show. This is supposed to be an easy one.
You know what happens? 9 o'clock, it all becomes daytime. So you got more license. Bill Burr, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. Stopping it before it goes on. Yeah, she had started to ask him again, tell me about your religious background or your religious upbringing or something. I'd be kind of curious to hear what he says about that. I mean, I'm sure he's probably talked about it in other things, but honestly, you guys, I am really being very stingy with how often I check out his stuff. So if he has talked about it in other, routines or bits or whatever, I haven't seen it yet. And I haven't done anything like read an autobiography of his life. I haven't watched F is for Family yet. So I don't know all these little, sort of details, but I would have been really curious to see what he had to say. So that was edited. Now, I don't know if this was the actual product that played or if whoever uploaded this video edited that out. I honestly don't know. I can't tell. But, I mean, he made him mildly uncomfortable. I don't think it was, I certainly went into this expecting that it was going to be something so much more like just really super cringy, but it didn't really come across to me that way. I mean, I don't know if these people have had experience in having him on their show before or what, but it seemed okay. The only part where it got a little bit like, was when he brought up the thing about the crimes that the Catholic Church has committed as far as, against children. And they got a little bit like, you could tell they were a little bit uncomfortable. And then also the way that she asked that question. Some people say or whatever, like I touched on that earlier. And, but it certainly wasn't as, edgy or whatever as I thought it would be. It was okay. It was just, I have another video in my list and it's something about an uncomfortable or awkward interview or discussion between Sarah Silverman and Bill Burr. And I haven't seen that yet, but when I was reading some comments about it, people were saying that the video was actually edited to make it look more uncomfortable or to make it look like something it really wasn't. So I don't know if that particular thing because I think there are, I think I was reading that on a Reddit post where they were talking about it and someone was saying that it had been edited purposefully to look like that. So if I get around to ever watching that, I don't know, if it's been manipulated in such a way as to elicit a specific type of reaction. And that's kind of like, it would be like a little bit misleading or false to like whatever they're trying to make you think is misleading. So then I kind of feel like, well, what would be the point of watching and making any sort of commentary on that if it's intentionally not accurate? Now, I don't know if that was something that they did together on purpose, or like, let's say they were both involved in the way that was edited and put together, or if some other person completely unconnected to them did that. I don't know. So I haven't decided whether I'm going to watch that one or not. But anyway, well, this was, it was mildly entertaining, but it's certainly not, his normal stuff that I react to. I do have, there's another thing I have. Oh, it's a compilation video of him roasting people. I was curious to watch that, but it was a bit longer than I felt like, watching it this time, because it's getting on up there. It's a little late. It's not quite tomorrow, but in less than an hour it'll be tomorrow. And I'm going to be turning in a little earlier than normal, so I didn't want to see anything that was too long. But okay, well, I don't have anything else, you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Later.